reflect on the theme of sustainability from the specific standpoint of a board and a board director, because I have the privilege of now functioning in that role. And prior to that, I had a very different position, which was to be an investor. And so I was interacting with managers and with board directors, but from the standpoint of an outsider. Now I've moved to the other side, and I'm seeing things very much from the standpoint of a board director. And it occurs to me that there's so many opportunities for a board to really play a constructive role in this whole process of leading companies forward on that journey to sustainability. And that's because, quite frankly, the leadership has to come from the top, without a doubt. I mean, everyone's always recognized that. And typically that's thought in terms of the chief executive officer has to embrace this and have a vision and lead the company. And that goes without saying. That is sort of the necessary condition. I'd say it's necessary, but it's not sufficient, because a CEO always benefits from a smart and good and constructive board. And if the board can play a really intelligent role in driving forward that commitment to sustainability, it can enrich the process even more. And so I really feel very strongly that board directors have to be educated and committed and visionary when it comes to sustainability. And that means helping to guide the company, but also helping to test and challenge and bring an outside view into the company. Because by definition, non-executive directors don't know the company nearly as well as the CEO does, and never will. And that's something that we have to acknowledge. But we also bring the outside view that can really help enrich that entire process. And I think particularly we can help our CEO and our management teams understand the expectations of the market, of investors, and of stakeholders more broadly. I think there are cycles. In other words, I think that there are some themes that have matured and have become so established that it's no longer even a matter of debate, that they are core issues in good management. So if you go back 20 years, health and safety or environmental management was regarded as somehow innovative. Now it would be unthinkable for a company to neglect health and safety. So to even discuss it as something that's innovative, I think is a little bit patronizing. Health and safety is a must-have, and that's the end of it, and we just have to technically make sure that it is as good as it can possibly be and constantly improve. On the other hand, there are other themes that are newer. So you have this constant sort of, these curves of maturity on all these different themes. And so, more recently there was the theme of human rights. So, maybe 10 years ago, the idea that a company should be responsible for human rights seemed bizarre because, if you're operating in a country where the government is misbehaving, what fault is it of the company? The company is just trying to keep its nose out of trouble. And in fact, now the expectation has shifted, that there is an expectation that companies should contribute to protecting human rights if they're going to do a good job in that country, not just because it's the right thing and the good thing to do for the community, it's actually good for their business, right? And if they fail to, it's going to hurt their business. So that issue has now reached a certain level of maturity, but it's more recent than, say, health, safety, and environment.